Oh, apparently I have to hit the go live button.
Oh, you bastard.
You had a countdown. You had a countdown.
Okay, take two.
Double countdowns over here. All right, we're live. What, you're not you don't have your big British hey everybody again? You don't have that?
Yeah. So we this is take two. We already did this, but RD didn't hit the button on his end. So.
Shame me. Everyone shame me.
Shame. Welcome. Hello everyone in the chat to the start of this incredible stream series between myself, Newsfist, and Rhetorically Defective. I mean, it's his channel. Obviously. It's gonna be pants, it's gonna be fun. It's going to be a bit of light or possibly heavy spiciness, depending on what you're into. And tonight we will be examining the question gripping the mind of the West at this very moment. Is it okay for about like 20 white people to fuck off into the middle of the Ozarks and, just hang out there by themselves, right? This is a very, very important question. You've got no idea what these white people might be doing.
Well, so that's the thing. When you say white people, so you're familiar with a person of color, right?
Yeah.
And person of color, I usually think of these things of, what if I was like 13 years old right now and I heard something and I have the internet, I have access to all this information, right? And I look up person of color, and the definition is not you. It's just not a white European. So there's a culturally acceptable word for just not a white person.
Mate, look, you're behind in the times, right? You're clearly not on the cutting edge of race communism, right? The proper term now is a person of the global majority. You goddamn bigot. Can't believe I'm going to share a stream with this guy, right? And this, I just want to point this out. This absolutely does not, this term, mean that they are like about to turn around, declare that white people are minority, deny them minority protections, and then try and wipe them all out or anything like that. No, relax, guy, relax. So look, it's very, very important in the face of all this that they stop these random white dudes setting up like a farm or whatever in the Ozarks. They could be learning Austrian painting, right? For all we know. It's terrible.
I take this epistemology. I'm a liberal at heart, okay? I'm a classical liberal, okay? So I just think that everyone should be able to advocate for themselves. And I just can't believe in some of the things that we're going to watch, there's a reoccurring theme of a certain population that just seems to be a very low percentage of the population that keeps springing up and go, well, can we live there? And it's like, why would you want to? Why would you want to be around a bunch of people that are just like, hey, please don't. Well, I'm not allowed. It's like, oh God, you're gonna make me have this conversation. Like, can you get the hint?
Well, we got to keep an eye on them. You got no idea what they might be doing, hitching their weird schemes. It's so like just weirdly paranoid, right? I mean, like I'm presuming that the rationale, right, is like, it will normalize, quote unquote, right? White people living together, right? And having productive communities. And of course we can't have that because, then people might turn around and be like, wait, why are we like forcing all these different ethnicities to live together in what is clearly a highly unstable mix, right?
The issue with integration is that it was forced integration. It's that they bust in another population. I mean, imagine being like, I don't know, 10-year-old kid, and everyone doesn't want you there. It must have been really awkward.
Yeah, but
it's the forced part of integration that people historically have had a problem with both blacks and whites. Just not the Jews, but blacks and whites, yes.
The thing is, right, this is so bullshit on its face, right? Like, all you've got to do is look at just recent history, right? The breakup of Yugoslavia, for example, or the partition of India and Pakistan, or what's going on with Israel and Gaza, right? They're like, oh, we hate each other. We don't want to live together, right? Like things are compatible. But for some weird reason, right? When it comes to the Western whites, who of course are responsible for every bad thing that has ever happened on the, on planet Earth, and and every day I apologize for that. I find a BLM protest and I go and I give them some sloppy toppy, and I'm like, oh, please forgive me, big black bull. Come back and take all of my belongings. I just
love this. I would love for there to be a camera crew to go to an all black area, and a white guy is like, "So, am I really not allowed here?" Like, I would love to see that footage. CNN doesn't cover that.
Well, I mean, it would depend on the blacks. It would depend on the blacks, right? If they were like just normal dudes, right? They'd just be like, "What's this stupid cracker saying? I don't know, man." Right? Like, just hang out, right? Like, I don't give a shit. But if they were like, like the hardcore BLM,
I love how even in your greatest fantasies, a normal black guy still calls us a cracker. even a moderate black guy is still like, "You smell like wet dogs, motherfucker," and I'm a regular black. I ain't even the friend word.
Cracker has nothing to do with the whip, right?
I don't know what any words mean anymore, Mr. Fist.
Well, would you like a little? So the word cracker, right, actually is the population of England between Hadrian's Wall, which was the limit of Scotland, and the north of England. You ever seen that movie Snatch, with the weird like jippos who are talking about this kind of thing? Those are crackers. Right, that's literally what they were called. Right, it's got nothing to do with the whip. Right, crackers were literally like a group in England before they all buggered off to America.
So I think what we should do, is call just to make it easy. I want to call them moos. Okay, things will be kind of mooish because these are lol cows, right? These are cows, and that's a sacred cow, and the cow is so sacred that it just makes things difficult. And I mean, in the chat, you can moo it. Mooish. It's just going to be a lot easier.
Those sacred cows. I mean, that is absolutely true.
Speaking of moos, we got a moo up first, don't we?
Well, he is sort of the giga moo. The bull that leads the herd, as it were, right? Very, very influential. Jonathan Greenblatt
and who
Anti-Defamation League. Don't look into the history of the ADL.
The history of the ADL, I think since 1843.
Oh wait, hang on. We got a super chat from Big Time. $10. This is support for this topic from an Appalachian cracker. Thank you very much, B. I love the Appalachians, right? My kind of people.
That's right? The OG white. They're so white that some people think they look Asian, but that's from squinting in the sun all day. The Appalachians. Seriously. I've known a couple. Don't get a lot of purebloods in these parts anymore.
I really like the Appalachians. I got a few friends from there.
Thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate it. I still don't. Okay. So the ADL in 1843, it was an international mooish fraternal organization. Okay. Now, just think of before the internet, before the telegram, how do you even communicate internationally enough to be an international fraternal organization? I just find it incredible, but
actually, I could answer that. I'm actually working on a video that would answer that. The answer to that question, right, is it's such a long story. But basically there was like a sort of weird kind of like Jewish sect called the Frankists, right?
Oh, I know the Frankists, yep.
Infiltrated the Catholic Church and various Masonic lodges, and then had a part in the French Revolution, and then after that, like basically sort of made their way all across the world. Basically, it is a fascinating story. Look, man, I got to tell you one thing, right? Like, Mooish history is awesome, right? It is like Game of Thrones on crack for like infinity seasons, right? Like it is just the most like I am a big.
It's very mythical.
Yeah, I'm a big reader of Mooish history, right? It's just so crazy. It's awesome.
We offset each other very well because I don't read. I don't read at all.
Oh well, that's okay.
I kind of just go with the vibes and feel everything out.
Oh, so that's why you watch like so much like commie YouTube blood sports. Like, I just
because when I read about something, I'm so skeptical of history now that I'm watching history be lied about as I'm living it. As I'm going through it, I'm watching it be lied about. So I have a really tough time believing the written word. And video archival footage, I have a lot more confidence in what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel you on that sentiment. Yeah, okay, all right. I see what you're getting at. Shall we get to the first video?
Moves will not replace us. Yes. See how much funner that is? See? They're not the only conniving ones, okay? I've been studying these cows for a little bit now, okay? I know their ways.
Okay, so
sneaky.
So this is Mr. Greenblatt. He's being interviewed by a channel Visegrad 24. He's being asked about his opinions on the whites generally, and perhaps if he's being a little bit too harsh.
Oh, Return to the Land is what they're called, right? Is it specifically about Return to the Return to the Land, Ozarks fellas in Arkansas?
I think so. I think there's like a wider question on. Okay. I mean, obviously, right? Like, you know, the dude interviewing him has to be very delicate, right? Like, otherwise he's going to get his bank account like taken from him, right?
Well, I just love how he's going to be asked questions that you're going to be like, oh, I can't wait to hear him answer this. And then the interviewer is going to keep talking, or he's just going to make a silly face and they're going to cut away. It's as an editor, it's insulting. If I edited this, it would be edited comedically because of the timing of like, okay, let's hear the answer to the question. And he just makes this like square, sour face.
All right, here we go.
One of the very common accusations against the ADL is that it does focus on groups that claim to represent the interests of white people. Do you think there's any truth to that you do perhaps focus more on white people more than anyone else? The reason I ask this question is I think Israel has...
Did you see that look at his face? Doesn't answer it! I
gotta back that up.
Look at how lost he is.
You ask me that question. Do you like your family and your bank account? You better watch your mouth.
Thousands of years of ancestry just flash before his eyes, and he's like, I can't say anything, or else I'll lose the small scrap of a soul that I have left that's allowing my husk of a body to barely muster out any facial expressions or words.
We have another super chat from Morticool, $9.99. Since we're on about the Frankists, can we also admit Macron married his dad? Look, I don't know
That's
about
your
that.
territory.
Are you suggesting that the Frankists are ruling the French government? Interesting, spicy.
Thank you very much.
I cannot possibly comment. I mean, I have heard weirder stuff. To be fair, right? Like if they came out tomorrow and they admitted, like, oh yeah, that's true, I'd be like, oh yeah. I can believe I'm so jaded when it comes to government corruption by this point. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's saying what you think the government should do, and then living in reality and not trusting the government at all. It's like it's almost impossible to make a prescription right now when you have a government you don't trust.
Yeah. Right. Let's. Someone. We need a soy jack of that face. That you reckon?
Right? Gone. All right.
Right.
This question is, I think Israel has done, and by extension the Jewish people have done several things right, and that is they have managed to preserve themselves as a group of people without a state. They've managed to successfully do that for a very long time. It's a wonderful saying that goes for as long as the Jews have kept the Sabbath has kept the Jews.
Yeah.
They've managed to retain a respect for their traditions and values. Even the unreligious Jews have a broad respect for. They've managed to have, especially, well, in Israel is the only Western country with an above a replacement level demographic rate. They've been very good at having strong borders. They've stuck together, right? And the fact of sticking together, the reason that they managed to survive without a state for so long is because they have stuck together. If, for example, there is a group of white Americans who wants to put the interests of white Americans first and says, okay, we are a group that is currently
Here we go.
smaller and smaller as a percentage of the entire United States, and the demographics are shifting. Is that something that is problematic?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I think
Scratch the back of the head.
The fact of the matter is, I have no problem with anyone having pride in who they are and what they believe and their values.
Pressing X to down right there. Okay.
To the extent that those beliefs and those values don't infringe upon me.
How does a bunch of white dudes living in the Ozarks impinge upon you?
Because he has plausible deniability of what he's talking about every single time. It's have you ever noticed that everyone on the left, even if they're not a politician, conducts a conversation like they're a politician, and they speak in gypsy curses with this really vague, ethereal. I think everyone should like. Okay, well, dude, I asked you a very direct question.
Yeah, it's sophistry. It's the art of speaking without conveying any meaning, and I hate it. It has just taken over the entire political class at this point. It's ridiculous.
And don't encroach on my ability to lead a full, life based on, again, my values and beliefs.
Oh,
so I think typically the organizations.
Don't encroach on. Yeah, just say exactly what you're doing and say, I don't want that done to me. Why don't you?
I'm happy to encroach upon their values, right? As long as they don't encroach upon my values, right? Like, I mean, God, this is just such low key sort of like admitting.
Is it low key? Is it low key anymore? Like, once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's everywhere. Honestly, it reminds me of 2020 quarantine race war, where I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is very mass form psychosis. It was just very obvious to me. And it's distressing that so many other people act like they don't see it. And then this is even sneakier, but he always turns it into, well, they just really don't like us, That's what it always turns into, where it's like, that's not where the question started.
Just as a brief aside, right? You know how the ADL started with a guy, Leo Frank, right? Well, the Frankists were started by Jacob Frank, right? I wonder if there's like a family connection. I gotta like ask an AI about like whether that's like a thing. Sussy. All I'm saying, sussy. Right. Sorry. To continue.
Not a problem.
Who espouse a kind of white nationalism tend to have a view that's quite, let's just say, negative toward non-white people. I think there's lots of examples
Let
of
me
that.
bounce back on that.
Nice.
I don't think that Jews have a negative attitude towards non-Jews, even though they put their own interests first.
Perfect.
Do you see that it's not necessarily exclusionary, right? You can
course
put the
not.
interest of the
Look,
group first and say, the reason I bring this up, I'm half Polish. I live in Poland.
Half what?
Half Polish.
Uh-huh.
I spend most of my life in Poland. I'm a proponent of strong borders for a variety of reasons. And one of those reasons is I don't necessarily want to see the demographic fabric of my country change. I would like the people who come to be people who respect my country, who want to speak the language of that country and want to partake in that broader society. I don't think that mass migration will necessarily help retain those things.
I don't know if that's a white policy.
No, that's
I don't know what that.
It's not a white policy. It's just a policy of putting my country and my people first.
Look,
my people happen to be 99% white, right?
Right, but so you could have that. I mean, Japan for centuries was a fairly homogenous ethnic country for a bunch of different reasons: cultural reasons, geographic reasons, political reasons. I think when we hear things like white rights in this country, it harkens back to a time like in the 1950s, the groups like the White Citizens Councils, the KKK, that use that agenda to, degrade and undermine Black people. Like there's a real history there.
An overlap.
Right, but he's not Black.
Right? Do you like how you can see the wheels are turning already where he's acting like Japan isn't homogenous anymore? Isn't that a weird comment? Is that what they're going to do to Japan?
Kind of isn't because of mass migration, right? Something which, I don't want to say on YouTube, but you could. It's not that his people have been uninvolved in that. Let's say, right? This is a constant running theme going even back to the civil rights era, actually, right? This idea that you sort of use the blacks as this shield, right? Like shouldn't you let like the blacks like speak for themselves on this, right?
Well, they do. There's just usually a cow whispering in the black leader's ear. Gets a little mooish as to who's whispering in his ear. Dude, I have a post where there's like 3 examples off the top of my head.
We got on the super chat. Another one from Big Time. Thank you very much, mate, for $5 US. Uh-oh, strong borders for the Polish people. Nosferatu is beginning to shudder and plan how to subvert from the inside. Yes, the closeness in resemblance between Greenblatt and Nosferatu has been remarked on several times.
Let's be polite. Let's be polite. He's an unbelievably handsome Nosferatu, okay? He's, for a Nosferatu, very handsome. For a human being, a fucking ghoul.
Thanks very much, Big Time. Appreciate it, mate.
So like when we talk about something like strong borders, look, I think we all want strong, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I think it is a totally defensible and reasonable position to want strong borders and immigration policy that, number one, allows the government to have some degree of, effective control over who's coming into their country.
God.
Number two, make sure that as people come into the country, they are obeying the laws and that they are assimilating into the country to a degree.
I mean,
but do you see how he separates the opinion from the person? So we have to make believe that whenever there's white rights, it harkens back to a time where they hated blacks. And then he goes, no, I'm completely okay with this. As long as it's like, do you see how he separates it from white people?
Yeah.
That opinion. Yeah. As if that's not the overwhelming opinion of peaceful white people that just want a regular country like they see everywhere else.
Man, it's happening all over the West, man. Right. Okay, so do we go to the next clip, or you got more to say on this one?
No, I can set it up. So I never thought I would say this. Let's actually watch something that's less frustrating, which is Muslims conquering the United States. And so we're going to watch Muslims very freely and very openly talk about naming streets after violent Islamic prophets that invaded Christian areas, and they're going to be laughing about it, and they're going to go, haha, that's going to really make the Islamophobes mad. Very similar to the Moos with anti-Semitism. They can just go Islamophobe and antagonize you as much as humanly possible. I really want to point out the level of antagonization that they're allowed to put out there without CNN or MSNBC going, this is a potential threat. So obviously this is going to be an independent journalist that's covering this. If you want to play, I think the bottom left one.
Sorry, got something in my throat. Just must be that thing that I got down at the Allahu snack bar. Just didn't agree with me for some reason.
There's a civil war going on in America right now, right under your nose, and you may not even realize it. The weapons being used aren't bullets, they're building permits.
179-acre land.
Hang on a sec. We got a super chat
Jesus
from Deadpool
Christ.
Kid. Oh my crikey! We got another super chat. Deadpool Kid for $5. Assimilation doesn't always work. No one wants to give up their root origins. Reconquista. Yeah, well,
honestly, wait. So thank you very much. Also, we used to have an assimilation process in this country, and I want to say like the 40s or 50s, where you took an immigrant into your home, like a student visa, like a student exchange program, where you would like show them what we back when we had a way of doing things in the country. Notice how I said 40s and 50s. Notice how I said before the 60s. So this was a thing that we did when we did take in immigrants. Now, it's hard to imagine assimilation working when we have global elites making sure they flood the borders and whatnot. But there's arguments on both sides, I think.
No, but not only that, right? Like just you see this in the UK, right? Just the idea of assimilation, right, is racism, right? Like, this fundamentally is the root of multiculturalism, right? That you're not supposed to assimilate, right? Like to expect people to assimilate is bad, right? It might hurt their fifis.
That's how they otherize the majority population by the term person of color for anyone that's non-white, and then so they've already divide all of humanity into white and not white, and then project that onto you as if you're the one doing that when there's
and then they get all butthurt, right? When the whites are like, well, maybe we should, advocate for some kind of collective interest. And they're like, no, you can't do that, right? Like,
Well,
no,
pisses me off. This is what pisses
right?
me off. So we we need to be able to try the Hitler thing again, okay? Now let me defend myself. So the far left gets to try their far left ideas over and over and over and over again. And they get to be repeated in society. I mean, you're not allowed to call out communism at all whatsoever, but just a sniff of the far right. And they're like, no. When in actuality, the far left has tried their shit way more than the far right has tried their stuff, okay? We need to give the far right another shot or two.
No, look, you don't
go and demonize it, because the far left has had, I don't know what, 10 times the amount of chances the far right has had.
No. Look, you don't understand, right? It's not complete until society collapses, right? Like until they get like the continual revolution. By the way, I just want to call this comment out. Ardent Party, lol. Is that a brownwash Constantine kiss? Oh man, Francis Foster is looking a bit weird. He's growing a beard.
Taking away Constantine's brown card, huh?
Oh my god. Right. Let's keep going.
Like you said, brother, Masjid homes a total Muslim village. So we're still debating on the name, but it's going to be something Muslim name and a village attached to it, right?
They're not just building houses, they're building a beachhead for Islamic conquest in the heart of Texas. Epic City, which stands for East Plano Islamic Center, is a 279-acre development outside Dallas.
So the streets, Khalid ibn al-Walid, Tariq bin Ziyad, like all the great conquerors. Like people need to Google those conquerors and know like what are we made of. Yeah, like Google Khalid ibn al-Walid. Google Tariq bin Ziyad.
Tariq bin Ziyad is a Muslim commander who invaded Spain and conquered Christian land. And they want to name American streets after him. Here they are bragging again about a legal ordinance forcing 75% of homeowners' fees to support Masjid, the mosque, knowing Christians won't want any part of it.
So that service fee will put their 75% of the service fee you're paying goes to the masjid.
So they would automatically not want to come.
Automatically, if you are a practicing Christian, I would advise you, why help the Muslims,
Wake up, America. Sharia supporting Muslims are in the U.S. telling you to your face, you're not welcome. It's the blueprint for.
You gotta love the mailbox spot.
I love how they have to always frame this, right? As like Sharia, right? Like, look, it's Islam, right? You're a Christian country, right? Being opposed to Islam is a perfectly acceptable position just based on the fact that it's Islam, right? You don't have to be like, oh, Sharia law. Look, it's Islam, right? Christianity and Islam do not mix. You're allowed to not like Islam as a Christian, right? I mean,
there's a billion of them, and they come to Texas, and we can't just go, would you mind? I don't want to overstep. Could you fuck off? Maybe.
What I want to know.
There's so many other places you can go. You're wanting to name straight, like, and this doesn't make the news or anything like that. And they're globally connected. Muslims are globally connected. White people are not globally connected.
Do they like tacos though? Right? Like, like if the Muslims opened up like a Tex-Mex place, right? What would they?
We got big time with $5. Big time. Thank you very much, buddy. I don't remember the ADL gushing out tampons when Epic City was proposed by the Muslims in Texas. No oy vey at all.
Yeah, funny how that works, mate. Thank you very much, big time.
Opening up the floodgates. Nope, that's only made for Whitey.
Yeah, it's very Toledo appeal.
We get bathed in the uterine lining. Okay, that's reserved for us.
Gross. Oh,
it is.
Maybe
gross.
That would make like an awesome taco, right? Like uterine lining tacos.
Hey, honestly, I'm very ignorant of the Muslim culture. I wouldn't be shocked. It's halal, isn't it?
Oh, mate, you should come to London, right?
No,
you get all the
really
education in Islam that you could possibly ever want or need.
I just don't like. This is why it always sounds like a slippery slope, but like it starts off with just like regular looking Muslims, and then look at the screen, the mailbox slot. Like, once it gets to that, you're fucked. You can't. They're not gonna ever assimilate. You don't unmailbox slot yourself once you go that far.
Could I also point out, right, that what winds up being exported to the West, right, is frequently the most extreme versions of Islam,
Yes.
right? It's like ISIS tier shit, right? So in the UK, it's called Deobandi, right? And Deobandi Islam was basically invented as a sort of deliberate reaction to the British Empire. And you see like TikToks from these people, right? They go over to places like Saudi and Qatar, and they're like, bruv, it's Ramadan. And they're like all eaten, right? Why aren't you like wearing the burqa? And all the like the Saudis and the Qataris are just like, get this provincial hick the fuck away from me. Like, what
Well,
the
no,
fuck
they
is wrong
also
with you, you know?
strong arm British natives into being fucking Muslims, dude. It's fucking creepy.
Yeah. But this is my point, right? Like this whole like, you know, with the letterbox slot and the I think it's called like the bois, you know, whatever, right?
What's called that?
That's not moderate Islam, right? And
Right.
moderate Islam is like a thing, and there's like a bunch of countries that are just like, look, I know some moderate Muslims in London, right? They're just like normal people. They go to like mosque once a week, fucking, you know, they celebrate Eid, and you know,
I
mean,
know, but they're afraid of their extremists more than we are. That's the issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they're you know, and
they
you know,
tell
and
them no. They can't tell the extremists no. So like it's breeding ground for extremism, even if it's not their intention.
Oh, we got another super chat from Deadpool Kid for $5. We're looking at another Yugoslavian moment, but on a wider scale. Allah kaboom. Yeah, I mean, I think you know, if I was the conspiratorial type, which obviously I'm not.
How could you be?
You know, it might be a deliberate attempt to force ethnic and sectarian strife on Western countries. I mean, it's fucking working in the UK. I mean, the UK is like basically on the verge of freaking civil war at this point, right?
Yeah.
All these people like just keep saying like, you know, your country's like on the verge of civil war, but the English are like have this weird thing where they're like, oh, if we don't do something soon, we might have to think about tackling this emergency. And you're like, dude, the time to tackle the emergency was
a decade ago,
right? Like. We got another super chat from Name the Dynamic, 199. Great stream, 100%. Thank you very much.
100%.
100%. Shucks. Right, let's get back to the special from the Allahu Snack Bar.
Oh,
shall we?
Sure.
For a parallel Islamic society, school children will adhere to strict Islamic dress code and gender segregation. Listen to these children chanting for the destruction of Israel. This isn't education, it's indoctrination.
Okay, hold on. Let's hear them out.
The New York Times makes it sound like this is just another housing project, accusing patriots sounding the alarm of Islamophobia. Do these men sound like they're afraid of Islamophobia?
A guy from Bangladesh comes over to the USA. Starts naming streets after Islamic.
It's unbelievable. I cannot sometimes even believe it. It's unbelievable what Allah can do for you.
What's called verbal manifestations. If you keep saying something to someone, they'll become like that. If you keep telling someone they're a villain, they'll become a villain. People get saying, bro, these Muslims are taking over. You know what? If you keep calling, if you keep saying it, yes, I'm actually going to do it.
The New York Times is attacking Governor Abbott, trying to portray him as the villain after a criminal probe was launched.
There appear to be multiple violations that have taken place here. One is information has been provided to investors that appears to be misleading. Another is they appear to be in violation of fair housing laws. Also, we found that, you know, they talk about doing all this building, but they don't have any building permits to actually do any building, and they have challenges even getting those building permits.
Building permits are for the kuffar. Allah has no building permits.
The New York Times has been commie for a century. I'm not even exaggerating it, dude.
Yeah.
Even when I look at stuff that they've been covering for, and historically. So, of course, the New York Times is like, hey, whoa. And this is when they try and use your own perceived values against you. It's like, whoa, hey, I thought we're all American. America's just an idea. Well, is it because they're brown? Well, no, they're naming streets after fucking They're fucking violent criminals. And when I say violent criminals, that's not like a black violent criminal. They're naming them after conquerors. Like,
no, look, you see this in the UK like all the time, right? The Bangladeshis and the Indians and the Pakistanis, right? They don't obey like things like permit laws, right? They don't pay fines. Like they just do not give a crap, right? And the fact that they're not affected by a lot of these laws, or they just choose to ignore them, gives them an incredible economic advantage over the native population. They just run like these insane amounts of like scams. It's insane. Oh, we got a super chat from Colin Christensen for $5, cheering for the destruction of Israel. I thought they were trying to warn me against these Browns. Disavow.
Well, hold on. I'm just saying, and I don't want to give them any good advice, but maybe lead with that, fellas, okay? Leave the conquering stuff for after that, okay? Maybe if they just switch the order of things, their message is more palatable.
You know, I can't help but notice, though, right, that after October 7th, the sort of anti-Islam rhetoric, like, really, really jacked up, right, in Western countries, right? Like, you know, it wasn't like, you know, in the UK, there's like a few people like Tommy Robinson and stuff who've been like banging on about Islam for like ages. And they're like, oh, you know, you be racist and stuff. But since October 7th, it's really ticked up a notch. Right. Let's get back to it.
And this is where the Muslims brag once again about manipulating the system using kuffar. Kuffar is a highly derogatory term used to describe non-Muslims.
Great attorneys. Now we're going to use the kuffar. So I hired everyone that the township knows. So they have dealt with this is their boy, their attorney. This is their civil engineer. This is their planning commissioner. Now the township is going to see an application coming from, I'm not going to name his name, like John Smith submitting this application. But it says Khalid ibn Walid Street. Oh my God, what is John Smith thinking, right? But, you know, this is what you make John Smith do when you got the money. You hire John Smith and tell him, hey, submit an application as I tell you to submit.
Just a point, right? Like, kafar is not necessarily like highly derogatory. It just means someone who doesn't believe in Islam, right? From the Islamic perspective, not being a Muslim is in itself highly derogatory, right? Yes. They're just linked concepts, right? As far as I'm aware, there's
ideologically,
there's not like implied. There's not like a nice word for unbeliever, if you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at their countries. I'm pretty sure 8 of their countries have apostasy laws where it's punishable by death, and then 20 have blasphemy laws, and then the ones that are even more secular have laws on the books, but then aren't necessarily followed to the letter of the law because they have their own Muslim law. I'm an idiot. I know that, okay? It's not an issue of education at this point.
Time for action is now. Call Governor Abbott's office and thank him for standing strong. And call your local congressman. Today, it's Josephine, Texas. But your town could be next.
Your town could be next.
So we had Moo in an interview. Then we had similar situation of what's, you know, we're going to be in not too long talking about whites having their own area. And now we have Muslims, highly coordinated, by the way, highly coordinated, 270 acres. Let's go to some Black Americans right now that I want to take their land back. What do you say? What do you say? Let's be inclusive and diverse with how we're approaching this topic.
And diverse.
Before we see how the fucking whites are treated, let's see how everyone else is treated.
You know, RD, I'm starting to think, this literally just occurred to me like right now, but I'm starting to believe that diverse just means less white people. I don't know, like, why. I mean, I know it's crazy thought, right? You know,
what the fuck did you just say? Are you trying to get us killed? You're not supposed to say that out loud.
I can't help it, mate. I can't help it. Right? It's the Australian in me. You know, I get this idea.
It's pretty basic math. It's pretty basic math. It's right there in the paper.
Well, look, let's soothe over the cracks, right? Yes. With the most highly diverse community imaginable, right? Like this is 100% diverse, right? Yes. And because, of course, right, like whites are responsible for every single evil that was ever committed in the world, right? This highly diverse community will be a beacon of urban development, right? And peace and utopia. It'll be like Wakanda all up in this bitch, right? Am I right?
We haven't given them enough freedom. That's the issue. We got to give them more freedom.
Clearly.
Freedom to fail.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom.
Feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
We needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom, Georgia, a new black city. The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country.
That is our vision, and to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom.
So, like, what are they even doing?
Chat.
Like, okay, yeah, sorry. What?
Going on the super chat. Ardent Party, $5 Canadian. The Moose taught me how to shill. Fandom Friday on Ardent Plays on Rumble in about 75 minutes. YouTube won't let me post the link even if I pay for the privilege.
Well, surely we can get a link pumping.
Yeah, send me the
right,
link over Twitter. Ardent, I'll post it in the team. Man, it's amazing how like freedom basically sounds like Georgia blacks. That's amazing, right? Like
the double standard is so not where. For a second, can we just all give white people a round of applause for not going on a mass murdering spree in the past fucking 2 decades? We really are. We really are a tolerant bunch of people, aren't we? The level of double standard at this point. Like, imagine just being a 10-year-old white boy in 2025 and how to contextualize any of this and not just be completely demoralized. How do you not? How could you be edgy and be on the left as a rebellious teenager is beyond my comprehension at this point.
Yeah. I think it's going to get like pretty ugly. Honestly, right? I don't see how this ends well, right? And you're not supposed to be able to like even say that, right? Like, everything's going to be fine, right? Like all these disparate ethnic and religious groups are just going to like suddenly magically put aside their differences, right? You know how bad shit is in London, right?
Yeah,
it
looks like a fucking nightmare.
There was a civil war in Eritrea recently, right?
Yeah.
Between the Tigray and some other fucking group. Okay, right? About 10 minutes away from where I live, right? There was a massive machete battle, right? Between two groups of Eritreans over the conflict in Tigray. Right? Like that's just like normal London now, right? Like shit has gotten so bad that you see a story like that and you're just like, oh yeah, right, you know, it's
normalization. But the tide is turning, and you have been of the opinion that Return to the Land shouldn't have said anything. I said they should have. So if you want, skip the TMZ video for right now and go straight to the YouTube video and look at the comments.
Okay. Warning, this report contains themes of racism and homophobia, which viewers may find upsetting. You've been warned, bros, or alternatively, you can super chat, right, to soothe your soul. If you super chat, you will not be affected by the racism and homophobia. I'm telling you now, super chatting is an incredible shield against this kind of like stuff. You might not believe me, but it's true. Try it out.
So, if you go to the comments,
right
now, this video has 1.4 million views. Okay, now usually when such a video is posted, it's usually a lot of NPCs supporting the thesis of the video. I can't find a single comment that doesn't support white people, black people included, are just like, yeah, I mean, they should just be able to do that. People are making fun of it by being like, hey, thanks for the recruitment video. So like the tides are turning.
Yeah,
and you've heard of the Shameless Spur YouTube channel that completely blew up. He has like 50,000 subs in like 3 months.
He just got banned. I heard today, actually.
What?
Yeah, his channel got entirely nuked. It was on 4chan this morning.
Didn't call him Moose. Didn't call him Moose. I'm telling you.
We got a super chat from Deadpool Kid, $5. I want to be free from. I got to do the accent. I want to be free from the white man. A few seconds later, hey, white boy, I need some money.
Hold on. Right. You're clearly not surrounded by them, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Okay? I want to be free from the white man. A few seconds later, hey, white boy, I need some money. I'm bathing in them every day. I gotta like just towel them off, just covered in them every day.
That's a pretty fucking good accent, mate. I definitely rate that way better than mine.
Can you tell I hear him scream in public a lot? I learned it from watching you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
But yeah, there's everyone is agreeing that these white people should just be able to have their own plot of land. Now, we've seen how other demographics are treated. So now I'd like to see how this demographic, white people, are treated when they just want to have their own plot of land, okay?
Is this plot of land like racist, right? Are they growing like race seed or something, right? Like, will it grow?
Bro,
into, like,
look at the fucking warning! They're making it sound like there's gonna be a missing limb. Like, it's literally racism, homophobia.
We need some sound effects up in this bitch. We need like a dun 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 kind of like, you know.
The soundboard would definitely help.
Okay. Are you ready? Wait, we got a super chat from Big Chris, $2. East St. Louis is a wonderful city to visit.
Don't listen to him. He's fucking lying.
Yeah, well,
there's no way. Memphis. St. Louis?
Memphis is a wonderful city to visit. I would definitely recommend going to downtown Memphis.
Louis. I'm thinking of all of St. Louis. Why is it usually the south part of a city is the worst part of a city?
South Side. Right. Okay.
I don't know if he's messing with me, because St. Louis has to be like.
Wait. We got $10 from Big Time. Thank you very much. I'll give you this if you can please do that black accent again. I think he's talking to you, RD. They didn't do nothing.
What, you think I'm some sort of dancing monkey? Motherfucker? Huh? They were just here to dance for the white man, huh? They didn't do nothing. That all I am, you motherfucker? Excuse me.
You just go dance for the white man's money.
Pardon me. Sorry. I think I'm coming down with something.
Right. Okay. Let's go.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
Over the last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses. They call it an
Wait, you wanted to stop it?
No, I said, oh my God, the horror.
Yeah, I know. They're working the land. Look at them hard at work building stuff.
It's just Amish shit. Okay, let's see how they make it look terrifying.
Intentional community based around shared ancestry. A long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
I think we would generally be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references? Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
A seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise. Made
being around like white people
and doing like he's at the fucking Renaissance fair. Like, you can't. Could you show him like swinging an axe and then like juxtapose that with a black person's head or something? Like, even the editing can't even make them look terrifying. He's playing a little.
Being around this many white people was a surreal experience. I felt afraid and alienated. I had to call my black and Jewish friends just to make sure that I was not succumbing to white supremacy.
The flute kills me.
Possible because of a new political and technological moment.
one with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US.
Pause it. They always do
Instead
this.
of taking...
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they have
always cut to
strong
the fence.
ties. It's everything's a guilt by association. Meanwhile, you can be a Son Piker and call yourself a communist and then say, I'm not a communist. It's that it breaks my brain every time, because what they do is so just, I can't even believe it's effective. It's so obvious at this point where it's like, yeah, they hang out with some pretty not good guys. Well, why don't you just tell me how they're bad? Well, I can't. So I'm just going to try and give them a bad smell by comparing them to people that cover their faces. Meanwhile, when they show the left protesting and they cover their faces, they're never the bad guys. I want to smash my face through a fucking wall right now, dude.
I mean, those black collectives are often started by like literal race communists, right? And they never like splice in footage of the BLM riots or like any of that kind of like stuff. I do think though that this tactic is losing grip, right? It is losing utility, you know. So I mean, you know, there's that.
Comments reflect that.
Into the streets, they are building their own for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
White woman's haircut.
Its founder.
Did you see that black lady's haircut? Hello?
Sorry, I was muted. I mean, what are they saying, that they're going to like import like a bunch of black slaves to like pick their cotton or something? Like,
I just love the one black person. They do. It's like with Joy Reid. It's like you have a white person's haircut.
Like, this is just hysterical.
She looks. Go back to that black lady.
Yeah.
Singer of my band used to have that haircut, dude. It's a fucking metalcore scene haircut from 2004.
She does look a bit like Joy Reid, doesn't she? Right.
I bet she does some mean gutturals with that haircut.
You to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Notice how they didn't put in the reporter's reply to that, right?
They do at the end.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and I'm going to scream when I hear it.
Arkansas, in the southern United States.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:27.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organizing online. A network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical, real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
Pause it. They love doing this where they just blandly and flatly state what the argument is. Mass migration. He just named everything. And then he just moves past it. Doesn't investigate it. Doesn't say if it's true or not. Yeah. He just acts. Yeah. That's him acting like he's a fucking journalist by just flatly saying the argument and then moving past it.
Right. Well, the solution to like the problems with mass migration is to just shut your fucking mouth, right? Like, obviously, right? Oh, we got a super chat from Big Time. Protecting children. I know someone else who said that. Someone the Moose proudly claimed to hate. Disavow. I have no idea who you're talking about there, Big Time.
Disavow. Preemptive disavow, just in case.
Is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do.
I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader.
Look at him! Damn it! No one gave a shit. No one cared. The most milquetoast opinions.
Was that lady like basically low key threatening him? Just being like, you better watch yourself around here, boy.
He definitely punched the hood of his car before he started. That nobody gave a shit. Everyone's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, a lot of space. Like you're talking to people that live in remote areas. Okay, they're like, I don't know. It's miles away. Nobody really has a next door neighbor in these areas.
Yeah.
Is called Eric Orwell, and he's invited me to spend a few days with them.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
160
it's like talking to a child.
Taking shape.
So this is so the Muslims was 270 acres. This is 160 acres for the white people, and this is how they're treating it.
Yeah. I can't believe this guy seriously doesn't know what he's doing.
Cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here.
I met here on like day 3.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it?
Wait, we got another super chat from Big Chris, $2. Blacks totally don't cost negative 250K upon their ending.
Is it true or false? Fact check true.
Fact check true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. And they wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
Pause it for a second.
If there's nothing else
it really
like
is a beautiful story where they just want to meet two people. By the way, she's out of his league. Good for him. Fantastic for him. And like, this is just what's important to them. They are tired of this being ignored, denied, to the point where they were just both on board and like, dude, let's start making kids. Yeah, let's just get married and do it. Like that's how done people are. That's how easy it is to meet a mate in this area.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it beats Tinder. No, you have to use Tinder so we can completely mess up your ability to marry. Look at it. They look like a nice couple. It looks lovely there, honestly.
And if you don't want to use Tinder, you can also just jerk off. The porn is free. Kick your feet up. It doesn't cost you a thing.
It's our gift to you.
country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence, happening to white people and white children. And so...
specifically sort of motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things the heavens are about to...
Yeah.
I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard.
Okay, so you can stop talking?
The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls.
It started raining, so I went to sleep.
The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL. What they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. And there are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to...
Sorry, we got on super chat from Big Time. Fun facts: a rabbi owns Pornhub and another rabbi owns OnlyFans.
Well, Big
I don't
Time.
think that's
Thank
true.
you, but I think we have different definitions of the word fun. Okay.
Yeah, look, come on, right? Like that's clearly a conspiracy theory. I'm sure, like, if anyone looked that up on the internet, they'd find that that's complete nonsense, right? Thanks very much, Big Time.
Be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll survive contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
Hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace it?
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore. Like it's... You call it racist.
There's a prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
A lot of this is
Pause it.
reaction to
Pause
left-wing...
it. That's true, and that's how it's used, and that's why they're like, well, you guys just use the word racism, however it suits you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever racism is, I don't know, what is it? What? Prejudice against anybody. So then say prejudice. Why you say racism?
Racism is equals privilege plus power. You bigot, right? Black people can't be racist by definition because they have neither privilege nor power.
But like it becomes a struggle session of repeatedly asking someone if they're racist.
Yeah.
Over and over again. And he has like a smile on his face when he's asking it too.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's racist, isn't it?
From the looks of that clip, right? This was probably like the third time he'd asked that question because like, look how tired they are of like this saying. I bet he like kept asking them and asking them and asking them.
Identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics, but white identity politics.
Ooh!
And what they're building here is a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary, it's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside,
clip.
the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full-time.
Based.
And they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner.
What
The
about
theme tonight,
feminism?
Colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
What a bitch.
Oh my God. She likes feeding people. Surely she should be working in an office job and like leaving her kids to be raised by the state. I can't believe this. white.
They're all just going about their business, and this guy who has a questionable nose is asking, like, hey, do you think that's racist? Hey, are you guys segregating? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm fucking digging a hole over here. Whatever. Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. Whatever that is. She's over here cooking, and there's like 6 people, 6 children, and there's a weekly community meeting, and it's like, oh, cooking, huh? I feel like you're, kind of have to do that. And it's like, dude, like he's fishing so hard for anything.
Yeah. These white people are building a fence, a potent symbol of keeping people out.
I went to open the door, and it was locked. I wonder why.
Racism is the answer.
Back in the day, when we first got the land here, there were only about 5 guys. I was living 40 minutes from here, and Jennifer was the first, family to be on the land full time. So we started community dinners back then, and it would be pretty relaxed because there weren't many people. But it is nice. It's slowly growing. So
they've come here to live for a variety
they're not miking
of
them on
reasons,
purpose.
but their dedication to the mission is absolute.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32.
Cool.
I'm a lady.
My name's Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N. I'm 29.
Right.
And Caitlin, C-A-I-T-L-I-N. I'm 31.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well,
that we hate everyone else.
Yeah,
it's not about that by any means.
It's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. If other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense.
But the goal is to have lots of these communities, and for it maybe not to be rural, for there to be cities on the same basis, right?
Yeah, that would be neat. I look forward to seeing how
He
this
has no
movement
rebuttal.
grows over time.
Yeah,
He has no rebuttal every time.
What a giveaway, right? That's clearly what the interviewer is afraid of, right? That these small villages will go into towns, and these towns will go into cities, and they'll be like really, really successful, have like low crime rates, right? Like children will be safe to walk the streets, right? And then everybody else living in these highly diverse shitholes will want to move there. Oh, we got a zip chat from Big Chris for $2. Thank you very much, mate. How dare these uppity whites disobey our parents?
Uppity? Whoa, uppity.
Cool your jets there, bro.
But like,
can't endorse language like that. My God.
First of all, I would love to just ski down this guy's nose. Second of all, no matter how peaceful the white people are, in his mind, he's like, oh, they're so violent. Oh, I'm gonna find it. And it's like, dude, like, what happens if it's, I don't know, what if this was a city? What are you concocting in your skull that you think is happening?
I mean, the thing that just struck me, right, is like they clearly funded this with their own money, right? Because if they'd used borrowed money for any of this, right, like their land would have gotten like yanked in a second.
They already know. They already know.
Yeah.
There are other ways to increase numbers. Nikki, Caitlin and Allison all met their partners at the community. And RTTL is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth.
Based.
Just before we arrived, they had donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of have big families, to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't think so. I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
Oh, those goats racist.
There's not a lot to show around here. I basically just have the whole pasture area.
Peter is unattached. This is his homestead. He's been on a journey. He told me he used to be a liberal, a hippie even.
The knife is a tool. It has to be very sharp in order to cut properly.
He founded a commune in Ecuador.
Look at the way.
Like, he started a commune in Ecuador. Did you hear that?
Yeah. So the latest scuttlebutt is that he's on the run from some like thing in Ecuador, right? And therefore right? He's not allowed to like have a community, right? Why would like the thing that gets me right is why would you even do like a TV thing with these people? You know they're just gonna completely like
this is why in the comments people are going, hey, this is a great advertisement to go there because you keep the spell is broken. You keep saying one thing and you can't show anything. It just looks like he's harassing them. This is why they don't want anyone to fucking bother him. Here you are coming onto their fucking property, shoving your fat fucking nose in their business, and they're all just like, hey, yeah, man, I don't know, racist, whatever. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I don't know. We're just off to the farm right now.
Are you racist? Do you have any racists hiding under the floorboards?
yeah, exactly. The racists are now the minority. They had to, yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious, dude. He's the Nazi. He's the Nazi, and he's looking for the racists under the floorboard. We are all on the side of the racists now. Their roles have completely reversed. That would be great.
Would you hide a racist in your house?
Right, and just like in the beginning of Inglourious Bastards, he's speaking to him in racist language. So it's like two different languages he's speaking.
Oh my God.
Community based not on ethnicity, but veganism.
So this is your lot?
Yeah.
He's also immersed in internet culture, someone who delights in provoking reactions, a troll. On the group chat on the messaging app Telegram, he's posted the numbers 1488. The 14 refers to the 14 words, a white supremacist slogan. And H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So 88 means HH, which means
Hulk Hogan.
Heil Hitler.
Oh.
Hulk Hogan.
Put that in
I thought it meant Happy Halloween.
What does that mean when you place that in Telegram 1488?
Well, I use it as kind of like a funny comment throwback.
As part of that Nazi discussion, another frequent topic on the online chat is the Holocaust. Usually minimized, sometimes even mocked.
Okay, pause
the
it.
Holocaust,
Pause it.
You know, stands as a unique crime.
Okay, so how do you think he's going to ask him? Pretty functional question that we've all been asked, you know? He's going to ask, not did it happen, because we have to split if we're on the left. Everything's either good or bad. He's going to ask him, was the Holocaust bad? Okay?
Wait, we got a super chat from Big Chris. $2. Parents' noses are perfectly symmetrical. Disavow. Thanks very much for the super chat, mate.
I'm in the history of
Well, that's your opinion.
Really.
I think the Holodomor was much worse than the Holocaust. That's my opinion.
Oh, you can't say that.
Yes, he can.
Oh, that's very problematic.
You think that's problematic, huh? Well, he's in a wonderland. He's in a white wonderland right now, so he doesn't give a shit, okay? This guy's ready to stick to his guns, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can say they're both bad. The Holocaust was bad.
But do you know anything about the Holodomor?
Yeah, in Ukraine,
right.
The famine, I know a little bit about it, and I know it was awful too, and
right,
it's sort of deliberate, but we can also agree the Holocaust is bad.
Well, you know, we don't have to say that one was objectively worse than the other.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, what is the Holocaust about?
Oh my God, imagine inviting this dude to basically like struggle session everyone in your community. Holy crap, man.
I love it I it's this how many times has anyone been like, I love how 1488 and he won't say the Holocaust was bad. I love that moving forward. Anything that's the opposite of what they want, I am here to fucking support, dude. Okay? Because it's just to get you to bend the knee. It's just to get you to say the thing. It's call and response. It's Pavlovian. And it's breaking conditioning just to say the opposite. They're just words. Nothing in the material world changes no matter how he answers this question, okay? So
it's like the original. It's like the original version of the BLM crap. You know what I mean, right? You know, they're going around like, say it. Say Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly the same thing.
Yes.
So basically all I'm saying is that I don't really see it as concerning that people are talking about Hitler when it's acceptable, it's publicly socially acceptable in the United States for leftists to support Chairman Mao.
It's quite difficult to agree on even the very bare minimum here.
It's just interesting, sort of, when we're coming to talking about the Holocaust.
Just skip right over Mao. Hey, what about all the communist
leaders? I wish he would have turned around and started going like, do you think Chairman Mao was bad? Right? Like, do you think that was bad? Right?
Every rebuttal though, he could have. Every rebuttal is just cut out. That's them acting like they're doing a journalism. He's like, no one even. There's professors. If you look up in the humanities, what percentage do you think identify as Marxist in the humanities?
Dude, it's insane. I mean, shit. Like, you know, I did a uni degree recently, right? And they're all Marxists, right? Like, Marxism is the fundamental frame of the social sciences now.
The ones that say they're Marxist is roughly 25%. That's just the ones that admit to it. That's just the ones that admit to the most cryptic, subversive, maybe in second place, the most cryptic, subversive movement, political philosophy possible, and still 25% admit to being Marxist.
Yeah. Yeah, and the rest of them just like swim in it as a fundamental framing.
Well, they're fellow travelers. They get to be fellow travelers. There's no fellow travelers on the far right. A moderate Republican is called a Nazi, but they get unlimited fellow travelers.
Yep.
Of course, it's always about something else, and I think most people would agree the Holocaust was a bad thing.
Right.
But you're not willing to agree with that.
What, do you want to talk about the whole? I mean, it seems
like
like an interesting subject, but
it is an interesting subject. I also think that was a bad thing, but I think the Holocaust was a bad thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, are you asking me a question?
I'm asking you, do you think the Holocaust was bad?
Oh my God, this is so painful.
I love it.
I just feel like, get the fuck off my land.
I love it, dude. He's really sitting in it. He's like, dude, what about the Holodomor? Yeah, I think that was bad. Okay, you think the Holocaust was bad? We should talk about the Holodomor a lot more. I think it was a lot worse.
Get off my land.
Look at the smile. Look at the look of glee on his face. Before this conversation, you said that he's a troll, and it's like, look at how in 1488, and look at him right now. He's like, oh, dude, I've never done this in person. This is fucking better than I imagined.
I've got to screen cap this. I think this would make an excellent soy jack.
He's a pig in shit right there. Look at that look in his face, dude. He is having such a good time. Not saying it. I'm not saying the thing.
We got another super chat from the Comata man. €2. I don't want Third Reich, but why you made Weimar?
Well,
no one made the Weimar Republic. It just happened, bro. Right? Every country undergoes like a communist revolution and has to make a compromise government, which then leads to like the collapse of the country. Right? There's nothing sinister about it.
I can't even imagine not living under a communist influence at this point with how long it's been antagonizing us for. Like,
I know.
I also find it very strange that the ADL was, or the fraternal organization that later formed the ADL, was made in 1843 by German immigrants, by the way. And when was the Communist Manifesto written? In 1848. So
that sounds about right.
So there was some stuff happening there. There was something in the air there. It wasn't like he was alone in a room.
I bet you they were Frankists. I don't have proof of this. Right? I got to do some research, but it would not surprise me at all. Right? Because the ADL grew the B'nai B'rith was originally like a lodge. It was based on Freemasonry.
Yes.
Right.
Fraternal.
Yeah, fraternal, but all the Freemasonic lodges were basically this was sort of the model for all these fraternal organizations, and they pivoted into the sort of, it was originally at the time of Leo Frank's trial, it was called the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith, and then they dropped the ADL has been around for a really, really long time.
170 years. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's insanely old.
Yeah, I think the Holocaust was bad.
Okay, fine, dude. Get away from me.
RTTL.
He finally got it. He finally got him to see the magic wave.
Yeah, but he's laughing his ass off. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, it was terrible. That's such.
Can you imagine what the unedited version of that whole conversation looks like? I bet you it's freaking hilarious if you get the unedited footage.
What a great way to answer the question, though. Was the Holocaust bad? Yeah, it was terrible.
Is based on exclusion, but that also means building community for those allowed inside. This isn't just for our camera's benefit to present a veneer of clean, healthy living. It's central to the project. Like many far-right movements before them, RTTL's mission is to show that by excluding others, they can live purer, more natural lives. As they put it on their website, to cultivate wholesomeness, beauty, health, and hope.
Is this an advertisement?
That sounds pretty racist to me, bro.
Is this an advertisement? In order for anything to be pure, you have to discriminate anything from contaminating it.
It's just, yeah, we want to live like without the crime and, you know, the degeneracy and stuff. Like, oh, it sounds a bit racist, bro.
Cause, dude, it really is. And me making fun of James Lindsay, whatever James Lindsay told me to not do, I just started immediately doing, and it's giving me a heightened racial consciousness, dude. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, oh wow, post World War II consensus. James Lindsay says that that's a bunch of shit. I look at it for 2 seconds and I find Pat Buchanan and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Because everything goes back to Hitler. Every time. When purity and white people, it has to be far right. And
No. We've got a new label now, mate. It's the woke right. You got to get with the times, bro. It's like, you know, all the essential vitamins of calling someone a Nazi, right? Without calling them a Nazi, right? It's brilliant. It's genius, bro.
It's like quinoa. It's a complete protein. All 8 amino acids. It's fully complete. Not missing any nutrients.
Complete breakfast. Mate, I know Lindsay's like dead in the algo at the moment. You and I have got to do like a Lindsay lolcow stream. We just have to, right? Like, oh my god.
A video takes me like maybe 8 to 10 hours to make. I'll do a 2-hour stream shitting on him.
Yeah. No, we can just. I've done a bunch of streams just like shit posting about Lindsay. It's fun. It's fun. You'll like it.
I hate him more than the average person. Okay, my hatred. I only hate things I really know and understand.
All right. Okay, let's continue.
Let's talk about hope. As much as RTTL might like, they do not exist in a separate world. Pocahontas is the nearest town to the settlement. And hope means something different for Pat Johnson.
I'm Tom.
I'm Pat.
Oh, you're Pat. Lovely to meet you, Pat.
We found the one black person in this community, right?
The town over.
Badmouth these people, right?
She must have been 100 miles away, dude.
I bet, right? Oh, we got another super chat from Big Time. Big Time being a big spender tonight. Thank you very much, Big Time, for $5. The root word in conservative is conserve, which literally means to protect from destruction. Yes, but you got to understand, right? The things that conservatives want to conserve are very bad, right? So obviously they deserve to be destroyed, right?
They want to conserve progressivism. They want to conserve progressivism.
Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this you can already tell just from looking at her, right? Like, how far did they have to travel to find this woman? Oh my god.
How are you?
We met her before we went up into the hills.
It was about 25 students that attended school here.
The whole time, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's really tiny. There you are.
Yes.
Second from bottom. How old are you in that photo?
I don't know. I think probably about 12 or 13.
This is the school she attended in the 1950s, a school for black children only, because she was not allowed to be educated with white.
She turned out fine. Seems to be doing fine.
A school for black children only. Well, that sounds a bit sussy. It's really funny how like the turntables turn, right? Like back then, it's regarded as this horrible thing, and now you have like people literally all over America being like, we need to school with black children only. You know, get away from the white man. Like the blacks started doing the segregation shit way before the whites, right? Like,
well, so they had this narrative that Black Wall Street was burned down and whatnot. So Black Wall Street was a neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was in the Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Some racial strife happened. They rebuilt it in like 3 to 5 years, and they were back up and running. You want to know what killed Black Wall Street? Integration. Because then black people just buy stuff from white people. Yes. And this is a black Republican perspective as well, where I got that from.
I mean, you know, it's weird, right? Like, I know Malcolm X would not have liked me very much. Okay, right. But of all the black civil rights dudes, I actually respect Malcolm X the most, right? Because he was segregationist like that, right? He was just like, listen, right? You go your way, we'll go our way, right? And we'll just, we can meet in the middle, like sometimes, right? Did you ever see that footage of George Lincoln Rockwell at like I think it was like at the Black Hebrew Israelites thing? Oh my god, it's freaking hilarious, right? So it's just a community hall just full of like Black Hebrew Israelites. I think like Malcolm X is like speaking, right? And George Lincoln Rockwell and a couple of his dudes are like just sitting at the front, only white dudes in the entire fucking place, right? And the black dude up the front is like, please give up some money for our brother George Lincoln Rockwell. I mean, it really brought everyone together, right? Segregation.
The fact that they had the freedom to be separate.
It was beautiful in its own way.
Yes, I mean you'll see that like a racist. There's another clip from I think in Africa, and it's what's the Louis Theroux or something like that. It's an interview with the white guy, and he's like, "So you're a racist?" He's like, "Yeah." You don't think that black guy is racist too? Like, yeah, like we're both racist. Who gives a yes, you moron?
Like what? Like what's that meme? Like unironically, like the racist, like incredibly accepting people. They don't care what color you are as long as you're racist.
They try making a boogeyman.
Yeah.
White people. Unlike the members of Return to the Land, she is Arkansas born and bred. For the first 15 years of her life, she lived under segregation.
We could not go to school together. We couldn't eat together. We couldn't do everyday things together. Each day that you leave your home, you are under rejection.
And Pat had hoped those days had gone.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
When I explain what Return to the Land is doing, just half an hour's drive away, she's not so sure. And in her eyes, there's one main reason for that.
And I feel like that's the change of, and I'm just going to say, I think it's the change of our presidency. That's what I'm going to say, because I feel like that's where the change is.
I love it. He told her the most vicious story, hyperbolized story possible, and you can tell she's an American before she's a black person.
So listen, I've got a map up, right? And that dude flat out lied, right? The closest settlement to where they're building is Ravenden, right? They actually showed like some images of Ravenden, right? Pocahontas is a town that's like, I don't know, man, like what, 50 miles away, maybe 40 miles away?
Yeah.
Like,
also,
there's Ravenden Springs, there's 11 Point. There are a bunch of other towns right before you get to Pocahontas.
Gotta make it seem close, dude. And but even with the most horrific, over-the-top interpretation of coming from this guy's fucking mouth, she still was like, yeah, I'd say it's probably our president, That's just unfortunate. That's all she had to say.
Just so you know, right? I'm not shitting you, audience, right? This is Pocahontas here, right? This is Arkansas, right? This is Pocahontas, and this is Ravenden, right? Where near where the settlement is, right? So there's a bunch of other towns, right? It would be more
a lot of space
accurate to say that Pocahontas is the nearest city, right? Like the nearest urban area, as it were.
As it were.
It's allowing people to have the right to be open for hatred.
That may be a feeling, but it is also backed by the data. These are all the white supremacist incidents, demonstrations, leafleting, recruitment drives, meetups over the...
Okay.
I love how they're like incidents, right? Like leaflets, meetups, a couple of white people drinking in a bar, telling a racist joke.
Yeah, this is what they did with Mostly Peaceful. It's like, wow, 7 people were just murdered in Portland, Oregon, and it's like, oh, easy racist. What about all the polite protests in the very white neighborhoods in New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island? You're just talking about that one protest. 93% were peaceful. Let's not talk about the rapes and murders that happened at the protest. Let's talk about the times it didn't happen. So conversely, here, white supremacist incidents, and I've looked at the data. We should do a data stream one day too, dude. It is hysterical what they try and pass off as data.
I mean, I can't help but notice, right, that there's greater clustering along the East Coast and all the diverse areas, right? Like, if you look at the Pacific Northwest, right, like, you know, like Idaho and Wyoming and, you know, like, there's hardly any. Wait, who's this data by? The ACLED. I wonder who those are.
Do it.
Right, you want me to look it up?
I grant you the freedom to do it.
The ACLED is an independent, impartial. Oh, look at how globo homo this looks. Like, look at this, right? Independent, impartial, exited out, conflict monitor providing real-time data and analysis on violent conflict and protest in all countries and territories of the world.
Dude, look at the about and look at our team. Look at how huge this team is, dude. This thing is massive.
Holy crap, man. This thing is huge.
It keeps going, dude. It is a conglomerate of a
wow.
This is good. It really is fascism, dude.
Dude. I mean, their human resources team is like 7 people.
It's
My
insane.
God.
The amount of money behind it is absolutely incredible. And the data they come up with, yeah, it takes all of those people to come up with white supremacist fucking incidents. And they know no one's going to read it. Everyone on the left exclusively gets their information from clickbait headlines. Nobody ever opens it. I know that because I've spent a decade arguing with these people. And whenever they send me, I'm like, send me anything. And all they do is read the title. And every time I open it up, it proves them wrong. 100% of the time. They never look at it.
Right, wait, let's get back to the video. Okay,
oh my God.
The last 4 years in the US, tracked by ACLED, an organization that monitors violent conflict and protest. There has been a dramatic increase over that period. It has become a background thrum of nationalist activity.
Bullshit!
They say, right, wait. I got to look at that like data thing, right?
Shit.
Yeah, hang on, wait, hell. Well, sorry. Where is it?
Right there. Again.
So there's like, they basically
starting
saying,
in 2020 when they starting on the Great Reset is when they started recording the data. Oddly enough.
Yeah. So during BLM, right, there was basically none.
When the streets were littered with people, like, what are these incident? Oh, dude, I'm so curious. So we'll save it. We'll have to.
We should do like an autism stream on this. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Become a background thrum of nationalist activity. Patriot Front is the most active white nationalist organization in the US right now, according to ACLED. Its leader is Thomas Rousseau.
Foreign races have never successfully assimilated en masse into American culture and nationality.
And the group has tight links to return to the land. Eric and Thomas speak on each other's podcasts and have fast-track membership for both organizations.
He shook a guy's hand that said that. Did you see that? I think you muted.
He went on some guy's podcast, bro. Right?
Yeah, but the guy was wearing a cowboy hat and he went, God damn, you can't mix the races. It never worked. Every time I've seen it, it ain't worked. Never, ever. That's all anybody who's on the left heard. They're not actually listening to what he's saying.
Yep. They took your jibs.
Yeah.
Comfy? Feels good?
Yeah.
It's about time we spoke to Eric.
Less than...
Comfy?
I mean, they probably did this interview at the end, right? So this guy's going around being like harassing like literally every single person in this small community, right? I bet they've all like gone up to this guy and been like, why the fuck did you invite this dude here? Like
imagine going to someone else's home and asking them if they're comfortable. It's so moo-coded. It's so mooish.
Oh my God.
50% of children born today in the US are white. I'm white, my kids are white. There is something to your background that informs who you are, your sense of identity. And we don't want that sense of identity being taken away from us involuntarily. So we're taking control of that situation and creating an environment where my kids can celebrate their identity and not have it, you know, threatened from outside, I guess.
But why is that threatening you? Why is that?
How dare you say that? Wanting a community for you and your children. I'm feeling very threatened right now.
You know they hate his blonde hair and blue eyes so much. They hate it. Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
An issue that you've had to address. You know, there will always be white people.
Well, I'm feeling a little nervous now in
No,
the interview.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's been days. He's been there for like 3 days, hammering him, asking him, trying to wear him down. He's like, "Oh, you comfortable?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Do you want some lube before we like go at this?
Jesus Christ, dude.
There will always be white people. Says who? Right? What? That's a bit of an assumption, right? Like, how dare you like be in any way concerned, right? That the number of like white people is dropping precipitously, right? And the fertility rate is like crashing. Oh, there'll always be white people. Really? Like,
seeing why there's a need right now when we see the coverage of black people, coverage of Muslims, and what they're allowed to do, and there's not this big giant news story. We see the need for white-only spaces at this point because, without question, unequivocally, being targeted, and the left won't address it, and the liberals want you to just stop with it, just to not react. The left isn't even trying to. The left is perpetuating it. The liberals don't want you to do anything, and only the right wing is doing something. Fellas, how far right can we go? Only the right wing is doing anything.
The liberals annoy me very much in this. They're like, look, just do nothing.
The left is more dangerous. The liberals are way more annoying.
The just do nothing, right? And the left will go away by itself. Like,
as long as we know. See,
source?
I called it. Told you so. That's all they do. Oh my God.
Yeah. We are forced to accept people into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and into our lives who won't share our background, who won't share many of our cultural priors, even moral priors. We don't have a rule stating, you know, if you have X amount of non-European ancestry, you're definitely out. In many cases, yeah, that would disqualify someone.
Were I to apply to the PMA and my views were different, I'd probably be allowed in. Do you think that's likely? I know it's a case-by-case basis, but just off the top of your head.
Yeah, possibly we would accept you in the PMA.
That's a no.
Right?
That's a hard no.
That fucking smirk. Go back that smirk, dude.
You just spent the entire time here going around and like initiating struggle sessions with like.
And how stupid is my question? Oh yeah, just because you're white, you can come right in. Yeah, dude, sure.
I don't understand white American culture, but you'd rather have me in that case. I just wonder though whether some people watching this, having heard all this intellectualizing, this rhetoric, would say, fine, but actually at heart this is just, you know, it is just prejudice, it is just bigotry, it is just lowest common denominator racism dressed up in these arguments.
And I would just question the moral frame. Why is it wrong to identify with your own people, want an integrated culture where you can be yourself?
Just to boil it down to what for you is the definition of racism.
Yeah, did you see how they just cut him off? I bet he said something really good there, and they're like, no, we're leaving that out.
They didn't even have a cutaway to go to anything to distract you. That was pathetic.
Fuck.
When I was a kid, I suppose I interpreted racism to be judging someone solely on the basis of their race. And is that a good or bad thing? I think this basic moral consensus treats it as automatically a bad thing without a lot of reflection.
Boom.
Yeah, they just cut away.
Look at him walking away, fucking strutting his stuff.
He's about to do the thoughtful walk, right? You know, where he's like walking around, like, I'm about to say something like very, very deep that will like, you know, gel this message. Let you watch. I bet you any fucking money.
This is my last day here, and before I go, I want to speak to John. Not a leader like Eric or Pete or Scott, but an acolyte, a young...
Dude, that interview with that guy, they played like, what, 2 minutes of it? I bet he talked to him for like at least an hour.
Dude, why do you think they're so uncomfortable? Because he's obviously just trying to fish information out. So, do you still think that they shouldn't have done this and they should have just built it? Or do you think they should have done this?
I don't know.
It's a tough one, right?
Sooner or later, right? It was going to be somebody, right? And at least like by publicizing it, they would be able to like start a GoFundMe and, you know, right? Like, whereas if they sort of just remain like on the sidelines, they're
going to have to face the music at some point. So they might as well like face, like, imagine putting in all that work and then all of a sudden you get media attention a year later and then all of a sudden you're running into issues.
Yep. I kind of get where they're coming from.
One and newly arrived. He's only been here a month.
So I'm trying to knock off some of this more good topsoil, give it some more.
We'd seen him when we first came up. He guided us in on his bicycle.
It's just you have a community where you feel like you belong here. You have people you can talk to, and I can't explain it. It's too beautiful. It's nice.
He'd been working...
Racism confirmed. I mean, this is the guy's last day, right? So it's clearly got on the entire community, right? That this guy's like just here to, you know, ask you trick questions.
Who the fuck wants to talk to him on day 3?
Can you imagine how he approaches for the interview, right? He probably like just like pops out of a bush, right, with the camera already rolling, right, and just being like, you know, so how do you like it here? You know, are you? Do you think it's like being racist, right? That hole you're digging, is it a racist hole, right?
I know, but everything has to be so intellectualized. Like describe it, and it's like it's just nice. It's just nice, polite, wholesome, quiet time.
Are you digging that hole for people of color?
Wait till his reflection at the end to answer the question what he thinks of it. Okay.
On Scott's new house over the weekend. In return for his labour, he gets cheap rent. John dropped out of college, and he's worked jobs all over the United States. He's 26, younger than the leaders who are all in their 30s. If they are the recruiters, he is the perfect recruit. And for John, the primary motivation was financial.
To me, it's economical. It's an economic decision, right? And you know, everything else just kind of falls in line. Yeah. But the main thing to me is cheap land. Everything else is a bonus.
You've got 2 levels here.
Yep. Got a loft up top, and this is the main area.
So living area down here. So it's quite comfy, right?
It is quite comfy. As for excluding people...
How many times have you heard a white person say, I just want to go in the woods, man?
Yeah.
And this guy is just away from it all, who, by the way, doesn't even necessarily... His motivation is economic. And they're like, okay, do you abide by all of this? And they talk to him and they interview him. He's like, yeah, man, you can kick me out whenever if I bother you guys at all.
And the way they frame it, like he's a college dropout who did.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I bet you any money that guy has like a bunch of really useful skills.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you know, he's probably handy with like a fence driver. He's probably like knows a bit about electrics and like I bet you any money this guy's basically like a Mr. Fix-It handyman.
And let's be honest, he's planning on meeting some suitable trim there at some point. He just has to wait it out, okay?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, not a bad strategy, honestly.
We're trying to embrace our culture and our heritage. It's been denigrated, if you ask me. We've turned into a melting pot of a country for a long time now.
There is one last thing before I go. A concert put on in honor of our visit.
Look at that fucking beat.
The first piece that Peter and I are performing, it's called The Virginia Colonies by Fred Cooper.
Hold on, pause it. Hold on, pause it for a second.
Eric himself.
I get ready, okay? He's gonna get his licks in at the end. Now, we had some flute playing. Now, this can't be made to be threatening at all whatsoever. So listen to what he says to punch up the flute playing. Play it.
Is it fascist flute playing?
Dude, it's so petty.
This is a Baroque flute, also known as the German flute or the penny whistle. It was a very popular instrument in colonial America.
It's not easy to look tough with a flute, even if it's German.
Oh, come on!
The guy's just sitting there minding his own business, playing the flute, and he's like, huh, fucking think you get a big dick, huh?
How is it? How is
Hard
it
to look tough playing the flute, isn't it? Anyways, when are we eating? They're feeding you and housing you. Why are you treating them this way?
From like Goebbels' corpse or something.
Oh, it's German. You think you like that? Jesus Christ!
You think you're a tough guy playing the flute like a pansy?
Couldn't let it go.
Audience is.
Oh my God.
Is wrapped.
Would America be better as a white nation state?
Yeah.
Better in what sense?
Would you prefer, completely blank slate, America is just an ethnically white country?
Yeah.
I would probably feel more comfortable there because I'm white, and that's the way that this country was when.
It's like the way he talks to him is like talking to a child.
His face, right? Like he smells something disagreeable. Right, where is it?
And that's.
How do you not smell something with that fucking thing on your face?
We got on super chat. Torch for $2. Liberals versus left hating blue collar workers challenge.
Oh my God, dude! Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, it's just the right wing. There's only the right wing. I've tried everything else.
Oh my God.
The way that this country was when my ancestors came here.
You also talk about Hitler in your videos a couple of times when you've talked about people are waiting around for a new Hitler to come.
Mm-hmm.
And you said he's not going to show up. You have to do the work for that Hitler to arrive.
Hitler is a very controversial historical figure. I think the mainstream view is one-sided. It's informed by World War II propaganda, but also the contrary position that Hitler did nothing wrong that many people online say, that's also a one-sided view. I think all historical figures are complex, multi-dimensional, but when I say you're going to have to wait for that new Hitler to arise, I'm not saying you're going to have to wait for a new person to start a new Holocaust. I'm saying you're going to have to wait for a charismatic leader who's going to advocate for your interests, because that's how a lot of people see Hitler. I'm addressing how they think of Hitler, not my own view.
There are other PMAs, other bits of land that are going ahead.
Yeah, there are two other groups, actually three, organizing. One in Appalachia, one in the Pacific Northwest, and then another one here in Arkansas.
So this is the growing movement.
Right now it's growing very quickly. Yeah, we have applicants every week. I would like to see more communities so that people.
Sorry, I just got a freeze frame on his face. It's literally the Greenblatt face. It's exactly the same face, right? Like just that contemptible sneer, right? Oh my God.
You can smell it. He's like, oh, where is it? He's got to say something. I'll ask him about Hitler. And by the way, his answer about Hitler is any leftists sweeping for Mao, for Stalin.
Yeah.
What he said is no different than what the left says. In fact, as you would guess, the left says way more things praising these people from the past.
Yeah, well, Stalin was a controversial figure. Sure, he did some good things and he did some bad things, right? Oh, fuck's sake.
Dude, I love how they paint Hitler as a leader, okay? And weird, they call it Nazism, right? Meanwhile, the communists, no, it's just Chairman Mao. Oh, okay, he wasn't the leader? Oh, what do you call Maoism, you cunt? Oh, there's no leaders. There's just Stalinism and Leninism. But they're just chairmen.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing about these guys in Arkansas. I highly doubt they're going to kill off all the sparrows. Inside Maoist joke there for you.
People in all parts of the U.S. have this as an option if they want it. I would also like to see us network and branch out internationally to a greater extent.
Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't asked about?
I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Here we go.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that's not, for me, it is morally objectionable. I think the way we've talked about it is I don't think it is like a country club. That's the difference. I don't think this is sort of free association. I think you are depriving people of a fundamental right to housing. That's how I see this issue.
Depriving
what
people
the
of
fuck?
fundamental right. After hearing all of that for days, he came to the. Imagine what he told that black lady. They're
How much
depriving
housing
people
is
of
there
a
in the?
fundamental right to houses that they're fucking building.
How many houses are there in the fucking Ozarks?
You need to build
what,
those houses for people that aren't you.
Oh my god! I bet this guy would just love to like throw up a bunch of like affordable housing like project blocks, right? And just be like, you're diversified now. Fuck, man.
You're taking homes away from other people
by building them yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking commies, man. Fucking commies.
And I think the reason I'm asking those questions about where it goes from here, I think that is a thought experiment, but I think if you replicated it at large, I think I would be unhappy with how that looked if it were in my country and if I were on the receiving end of it.
You think intentional communities shouldn't be able to associate how they like?
Not on the basis of race. And the Arkansas State Attorney General told us, "This is the first I've heard of these allegations. Racial discrimination has no place in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
Pause it.
These allegations raise all sorts of legal..."
Oh, fuck.
You don't live in a free society if you don't have racial discrimination. That's what that's what the original liberal position is I can tell anyone to get off my property for fucking no reason at all whatsoever.
Oh mate, you haven't gotten the new update of the word freedom, which basically means like whatever the fucking communists tell you to do, right? That's freedom, right? Like, fuck, dude. Oh god.
But that's the thing. Whenever you say free speech, they're like, idiot, that's just for the government. Okay, well, isn't this private property? Can't you discriminate on private property?
They're a private association. They can do what they want, right?
They're setting it up where someone's going to fly here from Uganda and go, I can't live here, huh? Like, you had a lot of places to live on the way here, buddy. You had a lot of places to stop before you came here.
Why don't you buy some other land and set up on there? No. We got oh my god.
I have to have the freedom to go wherever I want, and you have to have the freedom to make you let me be here. Freedom.
But also the subtext of that housing comment, right? Like, so is the idea that the purpose of whites is to build housing for other people, right? And if they build housing for themselves, right, then you did a heckin' racism. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I'd love to know how else to interpret that. And I'm a creative person, and I can't find one.
This is so evil. My God.
Issues, including constitutional concerns. My office is reviewing the matter. This is how members of Return to the Land often spend their evenings, around the campfire.
Huh.
It's not
Who are they burning?
It's a racist campfire made with racist logs.
Right? Put some more niggle in there.
When it's about keeping other races out.
We would splice this into the shots for your reviews. When somebody says something like a little bit like racist, just like
spicy.
switch to the gasoline blowing up on the fire.
The bulldozer isn't just a novel way to build a fire. It's also a reminder that this group's ambitions extend far beyond cozy get-togethers in the hills.
I think Scott's bringing more wood over. Yeah, we might overall
The conditions and materials for that to happen, the politics and the technology, have been on hand for some time now.
Dude, they literally want us to have nothing.
Well,
right? Like,
okay.
Even something just to build like irrigation ditches, right? Like, just you're not even allowed to have a fucking backhoe. Like, a fuck you. Oh my god.
Dude,
like,
okay. Let's end it on the TMZ interview. That'll be nice and quick.
Okay. Oh,
now I'm gonna be right back. I'm not joking. I need to get a screaming pillow before we watch this. Hold on 1 second.
A screaming pillow. While we're waiting for Artie to get his screaming pillow, Get your super chats in, boys. It has been said that by super chatting to this stream, you are instantly 100% cooler, right? Right-wing women will flock to you, right? You can just go up to some random woman in the street and be like, hey, I did a super chat on Newsfist and Artie's stream, and she'll be like, oh my God, you're so hot and based and red-pilled. Please take me to bed and pump me full of babies. Right? So, right? Like, I don't say that, right? Like, all the hot right-wing chicks say that. So get your super chats in, man, right? Like, that's how you make it with right-wing women.
Trust them. I fuck all the time, okay?
That's right. You wouldn't believe the amount of right-wing pussy we get as a result of doing this stream. They'd be breaking down the doors, right? They'd be like, oh my God, let's make an ethno state together.
Left and right, more so right, all the time.
Oh my God, this interview is just, oh my God, man.
So, okay, so
you want to set it up?
So we've covered, what was the first clip that we showed?
The first clip was wait. Jonathan Greenblatt.
Oh yes, okay.
So then we had the Muzzies from the Allahu snack bar.
Yeah. Weird. Was there a Mooish interviewer for the blacks and the Muslims? It's weird. It's weird how these moos really want to shine up to the whites and ask them, hey. Oh my God, play it. I have, oh my God.
Yeah, have you got your screaming pillow?
Yes, I do.
Right, okay.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. There is a community in Arkansas that invites whites only. It is a white-only community. And there is talk now that there may be other communities in other states, like in Appalachia, other places, the Pacific Northwest, where this could expand to. The person who has created this community in Arkansas is a man named Eric Orwell, and he is joining us right now. Eric, welcome.
Wait, before it starts, we got another super chat from CyberChud 2077. Thanks very much, mate, for $4.99 US. Come get me, babes.
Oh my God. Did my audience, my demographics just go from 99.9% male to 99.8% male?
Look,
nothing in here.
Look, he's super chatted, right? All the right wing women, you got to flock to him now, right?
We did make a promise.
It's been decided, bro.
To TMZ Live.
All right, good to be with you. Thanks for the invite.
So, first of all, explain the premise. Why a white-only community?
Well, many white Americans do value their European heritage, and we don't think there's anything wrong with that. Many also are afraid that our identity is under threat from mass immigration, low fertility rates, just cultural changes. And we're not just a racial association. We also value traditional European culture, architecture, music, art. And so we want to create a space where that can be celebrated.
So when we say white only,
yeah, say white a few more times.
Jesus fucking Christ!
When you say white, right? Is the music white? Are your pets white? Is the water that you drink? Do you like to drink white milk? It's like, do you know who fucking Hamza Youssef is, Artie?
I don't know.
He's a fucking high politician in Scotland.
Sounds familiar.
Right?
Yeah.
He got famous for standing up in the Scottish
Parliament.
Yeah. And being like, the Attorney General, white. This guy, white, in fucking Scotland, right?
Yeah.
Except, of course, he was a muzzy, right?
Ultimate demoralization.
Yeah.
For example, what if a Jewish person, what if I come in and say, I'd like to join this community?
Well, you're welcome to apply.
Really? Are you Jewish? I couldn't have noticed. I had no idea.
What if a Jew? What if a guy like me wanted to come there? Why would you want to go there? Why would you want to go there? This is why nobody wants to play with you. This is why nobody wants to share their toys with you. This is why
Maybe
you
I
get
want
kicked out.
to set up like a matzah stand, right? Like, I can bring my brother. He's a moil. He gives like half price circumcisions.
This is why I don't think I'm at a point in my life where I could do actual debates with contentious people at this point. I have seen things for like do you ever reflect upon yourself and go, wow, I've been noticing these things for a decade.
Yeah.
You ever just like sitting there and you're having a spot of tea, possibly a crumpet, tea time. The bell goes off or whatever bullshit you guys do, and you're sitting there and you're like, wow, I've been aware of this for over a decade, 10 years of my life gone to this bullshit, and then I'm supposed to hear something like, well, what if I don't know if you ran into a Jew, well, let's take me for example. Do you think I'd be allowed in? I'd explode. I wouldn't be able to. I don't have the poker face this guy has. God knows what he's feeling on the inside. But I don't have the poker face anymore.
I mean, we totally hate you, and we're against everything that you represent. But would you let us into your society? I mean,
It's been annoying when I want to hang out with my friends, and my girlfriend's like, "Can I come along?" It's like, no. Why? You're fucking annoying. I've said that to a girlfriend. All right, God knows what I'll say to a moo at this point. Steer clear, fellas. Steer clear.
Admissions decisions are made on a case-by-case basis, and we're not purists about this. So if someone has some non-white ancestry, there's a chance they could be accepted. We do view Jewish origins as having their roots in the Near East, and so they wouldn't fall into the category of
Same with Jews.
European heritage.
Why is European heritage the purest form of European heritage, something that you embrace to the exclusion of others?
Well, for something to be what it is, it has to not be other things. I think it's fine if people want to blend and mix and mingle cultures, but I do want cultural diversity to exist. So I want a pure form of Portuguese culture to exist. I want pure Japanese culture to exist in their own respective spheres. So I want a kind of pure European tradition to be maintained somewhere.
I mean, that's the classic segregationist policy, which, we had, up till the early 1960s. So fair to say you're a segregationist.
The major difference is that back then it was forced segregation, and I think that's immoral. Right now, what we have is effective forced integration, and I think that's also immoral. Forcing people to live in ways they don't want to live is the problem. It's not that people may want to voluntarily go their own way. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that.
I mean, there are clearly people who would say that this is a racist premise.
Oh my God, pause
and
it,
that
pause
you
it.
are racist.
Just take accountability. Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. bit where he's like, I hate it when a white woman on the news says the N-word, not the N-word, and then he says the actual word. And he's like, when you say the N-word, you're just putting it in my head. I say, oh, the word. You're just putting the word in my head. Take responsibility and say it yourself. Whenever an interviewer goes, there's people saying, coward, you're a coward. This is you saying it to him, but you're a sneaky, conniving little joke of a human being.
But not only that, right? Like just the balls, right? For someone Jewish to say this, right? Like the whole point of sort of ethnocentrism and keeping a people together and keeping their culture alive is literally the defining aspect of Judaism, right? Through the many diasporas, right? Like it's literally the defining thing about the Jewish people that makes them a people, right? So for them to be like,
Jews have survived for 2,000 years because they just shared their genes with everybody. That's how you maintain a people for 2,000 years, isn't it?
It's just so fucking ridiculous. Like, my God.
Well, what really pisses me off the most is that they're like him playing the flute. It might be goofy and cringe to people, but white people have not been allowed to build a fucking culture. Yeah, it might be weird and cringe and they don't have answers. They're fucking building something for the first time in decades. So like, yeah, it'll be weird in the beginning.
I think it's nice that he plays the flute. Also, might I add, I think that clip of him playing the flute was actually just him tuning up, right? Because like
Possibly.
it didn't seem like he was actually properly playing. And given the sort of sneaky nature of the interviewer, it wouldn't surprise me if he was
Whoa,
just
what
like
do you
warming
mean
up.
sneaky nature? What are you implying about that interviewer? What are you implying? That if you saw a profile view of him at the movie theater, that he would obstruct the entire screen with his nose? Is that what you're saying?
Couldn't possibly comment on that, you know.
Okay.
For propagating it. What do you say to them?
Well, our association is racial in nature as well as cultural, but we wouldn't identify as racists, and it's not entirely clear what people mean by racist anyway.
Great.
I thought you were supposed to respect what people identify as, right? Like when I remember being told that like once or twice, or maybe like 100,000 times, right? So if he doesn't identify as a racist, right, we should respect his identity, right?
Well, no. You have to shut up and listen to their experiences, and their
Mhm.
experience involves telling you they know what your experience is like because you're the dominant culture.
Yeah, it's
Catch
funny
up,
how that
okay?
You know, there are federal laws, the Fair Employment and Housing Act, and others that prohibit discrimination. So you have a community where people live, and it's essentially a whites-only community. How do you get around that federal law?
Our goal is not to get around federal law, it's to abide by it. And there are exceptions
Nice.
in the Fair Housing Act and other legislation like the Civil Rights Act for private associations. There's the public sphere where you're listing real estate publicly and looking for customers. And then there's private clubs, associations, intentional communities
Looking
like
for brothers.
You know, it's interesting. I'm hearing you that you want this kind of purist European culture and that it doesn't necessarily define you as racist. But the people you attract, whether you are or not, may well be hardcore racists.
Yeah, this is always the second argument.
No,
they
but
go
I,
to.
I went through this being in the Proud Boys. I was in the Proud Boys in like 2017. And it's like, yeah, it was a bunch of white guys because we can't have a fucking group unless you're on the left. No white people on the right can have a club. And it was civic nationalists too. And this any white people getting together is called racist. So you might as well do whatever the fuck you want to do. But my friends were like, dude, be careful with the Proud Boys. I'm just like, I watched Gavin McGinnis. I know the whole thing started as a joke. It's what have you been told is a lie? It just reminds me of that.
Yeah, so they're like, well, you know, so like they're like, are you a racist? Right? He's like, well, I'm not a racist. Yeah, but what about like other people you might attract, right? Like, what if they're racists, right? Like, what if there is still a racist alive somewhere in the country, right? Like, why don't you just come out and build the fucking camps then, right? If that is your basic position,
floorboard argument. He's looking for him,
right?
Do you object to Goose?
These people have no place in our society, right? You debank them, you hassle them, you hound them, you get them fired from it. Just build the goddamn camps already. Like, fucking
Where
hell.
do you want them to go?
I mean, fair?
I still don't really know what you mean by racist. Valuing race in itself, I don't think there's any moral problem with that. Mistreating people because of their race, there's a problem there, sure.
Perfect. Well, I get it, but you say valuing people because of their race. A lot of people would say you're devaluing people because of
A lot of
their
people would
race.
say that.
Well, just like to be something, you have to not be other things. To value something, you have to value it above other things. So if you value, Jewish identity and the Jewish people, then by default, you're going to value them above non-Jewish people.
So
I think this is the part of the interview where like the interviewer starts like looking really, really pissed off. Because I remember watching this before, and by the end of it, right, like the interviewer he's just seething. He's got that again, that same look in his face. We've got another super chat, Colin Christensen for $5. I am genuinely confused as to why they hate the Proud Boys so much. Why do you think? Yeah, I was always a bit confused by that as well. Right? Wasn't it just a drinking club?
It was effective. That's why. It was very effective, and they were fighting Antifa on the streets. So I mean, so for example, this is how pernicious the attack on the Proud Boys was. I'm not even gonna bring up January 6th. I made videos about that. I'm talking about John Kinsman was called a white supremacist, and they took a picture of him with his arm out, making him look like a white supremacist. He was a Proud Boy that got into a fight in New York City with Antifa. They got attacked by Antifa, and as they always said, we don't start fights, we finish them. Antifa didn't press charges. New York City pressed charges. He did 4 years at Rikers Island, and he has a black wife with black kids, and the media still painted him as a white supremacist. That's how pernicious this coverage was. I said,
right. So right. So they were fighting Antifa. Is the real? So they were standing in the way of the revolution.
They were mocking. Right. They were making fun of them. They were being funny. They weren't taking them seriously. They were delegitimizing them, and they were physically protecting people against them. So that's why.
Well, I mean, look. Everyone knows that to stand in the way of communism is by definition fascism. So, I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense if you don't think about it too hard.
If you allowed a black person or, say, a Jewish person that wouldn't pass muster for you folks.
I mean, wait, I just spotted something, right?
Sure. Okay.
He's like, if you allow a black person or a Jewish person, he doesn't care about allowing the black people. He just says black first, right? So that it doesn't appear that he's like the other interviewer did this as well, right? They say black first and then Jewish, right? But like clearly this is just a misdirection technique, right?
Well, what exactly are you highlighting? Just well, I mean, black is the opposite of white, so that I guess you would start with that and then list off whoever you want to list off.
No. That like if he just said, right, like you wouldn't allow Jewish people in, right, because he's Jewish, right? You'd be able to say, right, well, you're making that argument for the point of view of self-interest.
Oh, no. Okay. Anti-Semitism isn't racism. You need black for racism, and then you need Jew for anti-Semitism.
Yep.
Into that community, how would it adversely affect the community?
Well, that person would probably bring cultural priors from their own background.
Priors, definitely.
Then we would adapt ourselves to consciously or unconsciously. I believe that culture is a deep, unspoken, complex language that's physical, explicit, verbal, cultural, rather artistic. And all of that is sensitive. It's not something that we rationally calculate. We're not rational individuals operating in isolation. We're parts of larger wholes, traditions, communities that move forward over generations. And I think blending in people from other traditions will alter that tradition that we're trying to preserve, and we don't want
Pause
that
it for a second.
We want it preserved and turned.
Yep.
So this is a really important point. Culture. For a culture to develop, it is not intellectualized or pre-planned and done intentionally. A culture is just developed by being around one another. It's a social phenomenon. That's why they're trying to overly intellectualize it to get in the way of something actually organically developing.
Yeah, exactly. Are we going to super chat? Lack of understanding from $2 from lack of understanding. Why was Jan 6 an insurrection, but not the Chaz? Oh, that's easy to answer, right? The Chaz was in aid of the Communist Revolution, and January 6th was not. So,
and what shitlibs would say is that our democracy, our institution, so it's completely fine if you terrorize private citizens and murder a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Wait. Let's wait.
Remain our own thing.
How is this community funded? My understanding is you have something like a GoFundMe. Can you explain that?
Well, the actual purchase of the property was funded by the community members themselves. And up to this point, almost everything that we've done has been our own initiative, our own resources. We've put up some fundraising campaigns, like a legal fundraiser that has been very successful. And that's necessary because many people would try to attack what we're doing as illegal. I've also raised funds to fund a tour to expand our projects, not just to full-time residential communities, but also recreational areas and community centers. I think it's good for the white community to have our own spaces, just like I think the black community should have its own spaces, and the Jewish community clearly has its own spaces.
Clearly. I think, see,
no, that's
he's media trained. He's ready. He's very media trained. He's very intentional. He knows what he's doing. In his mind, he has to go talk to him like he's a child, and then add in like the Jewish people. Clearly.
But the way you put that is that.
Oh my God! Look at him! Look at him see.
Right? Like, somebody in the chat mentioned the posture.
Yeah.
Two,
The
three,
pastor
three.
just gets like angrier and angrier as this interview.
Do you want
like,
to? You want to know why his hand is on his chin? To prevent the other hand from combining with it and rubbing back and forth.
There is a black community, a Jewish community, and so on and so on and so on. And a lot of people say that's not America anymore. That may have been America 70 years ago, but it's not today. America is a melting pot. You go to a place where I live, like Los Angeles, and there's no, I mean.
Yeah, what?
Hold on. Look at this mooish posture. Hold on.
You don't want to live in fucking Los Angeles.
He's going to. Well, now that I think about it.
Wait, I've got to screen cap that. Holy shit.
Well, on second thought,
he said something. He's about to go against what he just said. It's almost like how as you pause it, you can see where like the soul and the body are not aligned. You can see it.
Yeah.
There are pockets, but there's really no such thing as entire communities anymore. So that's not America anymore.
There are certainly Jewish community centers. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I have a problem with exclusion, to be honest.
Says like literally the most exclusive religion there is. Like
this is what they do. They separate it from the person and make the statement in general. He has now separated the exclusion from Jewish community and now says he's against exclusion in general. It is so duplicitous.
I got these freeze frames, mate.
He looks exhausted right now.
He's time I pause the video. It's like a caricature. Honestly, my God.
I don't know if he's gonna make it to the 12th round. He is huffing in between rounds right now.
I have a problem with exclusion and just fundamentally saying somebody is different because of their religion or the color of their skin. I mean, that's my personal opinion.
Well, we're different in those respects, certainly. And there's a lot more to race than just the color of our skin. Genetically, race leads to cognitive differences just as much as it leads to differences of appearance. So I think we should be free to either integrate or segregate ad libitum. We should be allowed to exercise our freedom as Americans to blend together, to go our own way, and we can also have our own spaces and meet each other in the middle.
Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate you coming on.
That's a fucking lie.
I don't agree with you, but we wanted to hear your point of view because this is happening in parts of the country. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to talk about it.
Appreciate it.
Oh my God. You soulless moo. He had to say that he was mooish. He had to say it. He could have not said
it. Yeah.
It's
surprising that
antagonize.
Yeah. Right. Is that that's the last video?
Yeah, I think we've put in some fine work getting our bearings.
So I guess we'll wrap up. If you guys want to get the last super chats in, that'd be great. I'm honestly jealous of you, Ameribros, that you can even do that, right? Doing any of that is so illegal in the UK, right? Like you are any single other ethnic or religious or interest group, you're allowed to do it, right? But not in the UK, just no. So I imagine they'll be studying this legal loophole and trying to get it overturned and probably trying to go after any payment processors that are working with them and probably trying to
what you're describing is fascism for using private corporations to do the bidding of the state is definitionally what you're describing right now.
They'll probably try and lean on local government, right, and get their utilities cut or any of that kind of stuff. But I guess
they seem prepared. They seem very self-sufficient.
They do seem very prepared. People were saying on I think it was on Twitter I was reading they don't have running water and all this sort of stuff. Well, that means if there's nothing to cut off, is there? Right? If they don't have electricity, right, and they don't have gas lines or water lines, you can't cut them off, can you? Right? They're just living off the land, right? Like God intended, right? It says me from my cushy flat in London or whatever. But what are they going to do?
Well, actually, should we end on a speculative note? about this guy might not be who he says he is. Of course, he's going to be attacked from all angles, both left and right, because he's actually doing something. So what's been the speculation about him?
Well, right. Okay, hang on. We've got one last.
I don't think we have a confirmation on this too, because I'm actually interested to hear how this changes how the chat might feel about him.
So right. So observant viewers will have seen this playbook like literally a billion times by now, right? So after the journo got in, right, presumably he got a bunch of like intel on these people, and they then like basically like did a deep dive on them and like tried to dox them, and apparently, you'll never guess this, man, right? This is the most horrible thing ever. You ready for it, bros? 11 years ago, when this guy was young and foolish, him and his ex-wife had sex on camera for money. The only people in the entire world to do so. Boo, boo, hiss. Now, of course, everybody knows, right, that it is a fundamental part of Christianity that you can never reform yourself. You can never be forgiven for your sins, right? And if you did some like stuff while you were young, well, that's it, right? And you can't claim to have any higher ideals. How dare this guy claim to have higher ideals?
When was this though? Was it last year? Was it 10 years ago?
It's like 11 years ago.
So from 2014,
right?
Is it 2014? Because I was trying to.
I read it somewhere. It's like ages ago. He was like, this is his like ex-wife. Looks like a bit of a hottie. And the
man has good
they
genes,
did like
okay?
like not OnlyFans, probably like Chatterbait or something like that would be my guess. Tons of people were like doing it back in the day, right? Like, shit, man. Like if I was a younger man, right, you'd probably find fucking video of me up on that kind of like shit, right? Fortunately, that was invented like after I got out of my stupid youth phase, right? They said some like stuff.
My 2% female audience just opened a new tab.
JD. Wait. Yeah, look, Chatterbait. They did Chatterbait, right, to make money. They're probably poor.
What was that headline?
Probably poor, living in some like shithole city, right? And they're doing Chatterbait to make money. Oh my God, right? Like, how dare they, right? They were even married, right? So you can't even...
Right? Not even promiscuous.
Right? Like, not even promiscuous, right? They're just... Oh my God. So they're clearly just reaching basically for everything they can. There's another guy who's part of the community who allegedly had some trouble in Ecuador back in the day. And they're like, oh my God, like, how dare you, have trouble in Ecuador? Oh, fuck, what the hell's going on here? Shit. Sorry, I've messed the window up because I am retard, destroyer of stream. Where the hell is it? Oh, now I got to do the capture. Everyone want to do the capture with me? Yay!
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. I clicked somewhere on the page and it decided to, be retarded and
I
take
can still
me.
see it.
So leader of whites on the enclave starred in a series of live stream porn videos with his wife for cash. So what? I don't give a shit. Like,
and he's not with her anymore.
He's not with her anymore. He doesn't do it now. This was like 11 years ago. I mean, he's only like what 35, if that, this guy. Okay, right? So this is when he's in his early 20s, probably living in some freaking degenerate city. And here's your based right-wing hero. Listen, Christianity is based and right-wing, right? And it is a fundamental precept of Christianity that you can change as a person and grow as a person, right? He's not live streaming fucking Chatterbait from the community, right? So I think...
And I mean, in 2014, you find out you can give your wife a good rogering and get a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll dip your toe. That's the thing. I can't even look
it's
for
not,
like
it's not your toe you'll be dipping, mate.
I don't know how to sex, and I just showed everybody that right now. Apparently, I've been using my toe the entire time. That explains the screams, and not out of
and they've already like got like a bunch of like lawyers, right? Like already like trying to file suit against them, right? And basically, as far as I can tell, it's totally legal, right? So presumably the next move will be to go to the state legislature, right, and try and like amend something. But my understanding is that
it's like how they tried to for Trump. They try to find absolutely anything chintzy. They start digging into his history and try and find something. It's not going to be. I can't imagine what the legal
right. No.
is,
Well,
because then you're going to.
This is the problem, right? Private associations are legal for religious and other reasons, right? Apparently, it's actually part of the Civil Rights Act, right? So that that you could have black and
the
Jewish
long list of
associations,
protected classes,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck they found this, man. They must have got like a team of Oppo researchers to dig through. I wonder if they oh, I bet I know what it is, right? I bet you they looked up his name, they found his wife, they went to his wife, right? They offered her like a bunch of money for like
oh, ex-wife,
right? And she was like, oh yeah, right. We used to do like Chatterbait. I mean, does Chatterbait even store videos from 2014? Like, where do you dig up a Chatterbait video from 2014?
Well, that's the thing.
Do they have to go to Chatterbait and offer them money and say like, or did she still have
I was looking for evidence of it because I think that shit's hilarious. Did you ever see you know who Jack Murphy is, who used to be on Tim Pool?
Yeah.
Did you see his videos?
Look, they've done it again.
They were hilarious, dude. It was, but that was from 2019, and he put his foot in the air like a ballerina, and she was eating his ass, and the look on his face was hysterical, dude. So that's why I'm like looking for this. I'm like, okay, let's see what's up.
Look at this, Artie.
Let's do some observer report. And I couldn't
They're
find
doing
anything.
it again. The groups attacking them include the NAACP, Stop Hindu Hate, the Council of American Islamic Relations, and the Anti-Defamation League. Which of those organizations do you think is fronting the most money for this? Anyone want to take like a wild
easily
guess?
the Hindus. Oh, the Hindus.
Oh,
Where the
yeah.
hell did that
Stop
come from?
Hindu Hate, right? Like, come on.
No one thought about you. You inserted your beaks into a thing that didn't involve you, and you're like, hey.
Fucking hell. Yeah, they're going to the governor. Oh, yes, the image he has created for himself as an upstanding Christian conservative is total bullshit, right? Because that's what Christianity is, right? You never get forgiveness. You never get to like change. These people don't understand Christianity. I hate the way they misrepresent Christianity, honestly, right? Like,
I mean, it's you've seen how they've covered the racial part. I don't think they're gonna spare any expense to the religious part.
Who the fuck are they? Here we go. The Daily Mail spoke with several people familiar with Orwell, right? All of whom refused to have their names disclosed for fear that what they said is his short temper and erratic ways. So anonymous sources, right?
Exactly.
Basically
That's what I
say,
thought. It's not even necessarily true.
Right? His goal is attention, disruption, and control. I bet you this is an ex-girlfriend. I bet you if this quote is
are
true,
you telling me this is the print? This is the print version of some people said?
Yeah.
Some people are saying that he did
here we go. He's creating a fascist community with racial apartheid aims. He's dragging down families and children and siphoning immense sums of money through disingenuous charity claims. Immense sums of money. Okay, right? Like what for 120 acres in the Ozarks? Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
My concern is that Eric is a predator and a liar, a hungry, attention-seeking performer who says shocking things to get attention and will do anything for sex and power. Fucking, is this like the Iron War of like woke projection? Right? Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, mate.
No evidence. It's just
they're trying to
hearsay.
basically paint him as like white Jim Jones.
And then what's his name? Jaden McNeil posts like he found something. It's just it's right on right violence. Okay, I try not to punch right at all. Okay, because we need a home.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand that certain parts are corrupt and whatnot. And it's like the further up you go, the more susceptible you are to corruption. But there's a Leviathan that we're not allowed to see. And so I guess that's more so what my focus is.
Yeah.
Which is on the left.
Wait, I'm just having a look at the journalist that wrote this. Susan Green. Green, huh?
Dude, how? See, like, I'm not too huge into symbology, but their last name is green, color of money, and gold the shekel. Okay, like every time it's green and gold. Is that really an accident? Was they being sly with that? There has to be antagonization.
Green is generally a corruption of grün, which is I think German. So yeah, I'm just saying. Anyway, so look, now you've been told, everyone, absolutely disregard everything this guy says, because he once did Chatterbait with his wife 11 years ago, and anonymous people have said bad things about him. Okay, so forget about like having any kind of like whites only spaces, right? Just be demoralized, right? Accept your fate. Go live in the diversity, right? Maybe go and like, look, experience like a stabbing close up, right? You know, like, fuck this bullshit. Oh my fucking god, man. They're seething, mate. They are fucking seething, dude.
I mean, it's just overwhelmingly clear that white people need to have white only spaces, towns, countries, villages, anything.
Yeah. All right, shall we leave it there then? You reckon?
Oh yes, I think we put in a good rogering. I can't get that out of my head for some reason. Do you guys really call it rogering? Sex? Do you guys say that, or did I make that up?
I mean, yes, but no, that's like an archaic sort of. I see, Sir Fotheringham. Would you like to have a good rogering? Right, like that's that's No one actually did it.
I probably saw that in the Mel Brooks movie. I have no idea where that came from.
Anyway, thank you so much for all the people who super chatted. I hope you have a great night. We'll probably be doing more of these because it's just like a lot of fun. So Friday night, you want to do this again, Artie?
Fridays, yeah. Everyone, I'm way too autistic to do an intro and outro, so I literally.
I can do the outro. I can do the outro. Thank you so much for coming. If you like my content, you can find all of my stuff at www.newsfist.net. Find it now. It's free. I do a twice weekly news show called Happening TV. You're better to find it on Rumble. YouTube hates me. Oh my god, they hate me so much.
I can't tag him. I tried to tag him and it doesn't populate.
I have literally been gulagged by YouTube at this point, but like my channel is still there. Wait, let me put a link in. I also do Empire of Lies with Yiz the Eunuch over on her channel. Check it out. It's a fun time, and I could always use some more subs. So and of course watch Artie's awesome snarky content. I find it's quite good with a bit of breakfast tea, a bit of a crumpet. I like to have a bit of a crumpet and watch some Rhetorically Defective, right? Because
I'm happy to say I can finally end my Destiny trilogy for the algorithm.
Thank God for that.
It's been a very good push. I just know a lot of Destiny lore.
I just can't stand watching that stuff, dude. Right?
Well, here's the thing. When I say I get to take a break, it's not like I'm not making content. It's I get to not think about the next video I'm going to make. I swear to God, I don't look for things to make a video about. Oh, I would love it if I never made a video ever again. I'll see something and I'll go, nah, I'm not gonna make. Nah, I'm not gonna. And I'll watch 10 minutes of it, and I go, I mean, and then I'll see something, and I just
you got the tism. You got the tism, mate. It's the tism is a calling.
I can't let it go. Yeah. I can't let it go. I am definitely undiagnosed. Thank God my mom never put me on any medication, and she just said I was special.
All right,
I'm not even kidding. That's my outro. That's how I end a stream. This is why I need another person on the fucking stream.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you for super chatting. I promise we will, split this money for like therapy beers or like, psych meds or, something like that will like, sort of uplift our lives. We'll see you all next week. All right. Good night.